Sick fart.
Welcome back to From the Pit, where we cover everything in extreme music from fixed gear Papscore to pre-neoclassical Illuminati grind. I'm here with Phil, Mike, myself,
Frank,
Jesus,
and Ron.
who is not Jesus.
We'll get right into our brutal news with the Black Mac and Cheese.
the greatest burger. I need it. I want it. I need it.
I saw this and I was like, this is... Alright, when you make anything black, as a metalhead, it becomes appealing to us.
But you probably shouldn't put it in your body.
Well, like, when the first cigarette I've ever had
Was the worst.
was a Dijon Black. I was like, a
Me
black
too.
cigarette?
It's
That's
why
metal as fuck.
That's why I smoked for a decade.
Oh, God.
Cigarettes couldn't.
Your
even
throat
keep
must
up.
have been numb all the time.
You'll let that
Tired.
slide. let that stay there.
That's exactly what it was for.
Yeah.
But, so seeing a hamburger with a black bun, and apparently in Japan, they had black cheese because they put squid ink into it.
Let me
It
get the
was
squid
great.
ink. If we're going to go
Yeah,
anywhere, we're going to get
honestly.
the squid ink.
Well, Japan said, how much more black can this be?
Yeah.
The answer is none.
Like it was.
None.
I feel like the only color on the Japanese burger was maybe like the tomatoes and lettuce, because they even had like a black patty. It was just black on black on black, and it's like the greatest thing. Why did Japan always get better stuff?
Well, apparently,
I'm not even
forget
going to comment.
who had it.
Yeah.
Someone had it, like from a band that was touring over there, ate it, took a picture of it, and went, "This is fucking disgusting."
Unless you like an inky back end. I mean, I'm sure.
Maybe it's an
An
acquired
inky
taste. I
back
watched a
end.
man eating suction cups off of a live octopus egg, saying it's an acquired taste.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
That's why the Italians fry their octopus, because that's the only way you can handle that shit.
We need lots of breading.
And fried. Like, all right, so Limp Bizkit. We got a couple topics featuring these guys.
Oh, boy.
My preteen heroes.
So they're
Why?
bassist, they're guitarists.
Guitars.
Yes,
Borland.
West Borland. West Borland has a DIY home repair show.
Which is
Awesome.
not surprising for some reason. For some reason.
Look,
I'm surprised.
we already had a show where Vanilla Ice did home improvement with the Amish, and now he's facing jail time because he stole a bunch of furniture off of one of them, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah, boy.
So,
No way.
it's not that
Ice
weird.
cold.
It's back on another mission.
It's in today's world of reality television, I guess it's not the weirdest thing. But
Yeah.
what is really strange is when you read the tweets from West Borland, they are clearly response tweets saying, guys, please stop telling us we should have a show. We already do. It's on the DIY network. So apparently there were hordes of people following Wes Borland demanding that he do a DIY home improvement show. And when he did it, they still weren't aware of it and continued demanding it. And that was what really stood out to me about this whole thing.
Is the name of the show Break Stuff?
It's called Break Stuff, Make Fix.
Make
So yeah, any other comments on that? Someone's got to have something else to say.
West Borland.
I just
is a
hope he's not
freak.
screwing around.
not screwing.
We got jokes. We got jokes for days.
So, while we're on the topic of Limp Bizkit, Tim Comerford, bassist of Rage Against the Machine, recently commented on the state of their music and how they're kind of the last surviving of the rap metal,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it. Limp Bizkit was highly inspired by Rage Against the Machine and has been known for covering some of their songs live and going on and
No
on
way.
about how
Why? I've never heard.
because they're like their biggest inspiration. Tim Comerford in an interview with the Rolling Stone, and this might be my favorite quote of 2015, said, "I do apologize for Limp Bizkit. I really do. I feel really bad that we inspired such bullshit."
Now, I'm gonna
Shots fired.
I'm gonna say this right now. Obviously, when I was a youngin', I grew up in the suburbs. I loved Limp Bizkit. You know what? I hear a song today. Roland comes on. I'm like, yeah, boy.
I still love the first two albums. I give no fucks what anyone says.
Yeah, I'd say first three.
$3 Bill was a fantastic album.
I'm going to be honest. At this point, the only way I can enjoy Limp Bizkit is when it's being covered by like an 11-year-old kid, because that's the only justifiable reason for anything.
Come on, their cover of Faith, that shit was incredible.
Yeah, come on. Why don't you loosen up?
I'm sorry, Limp Bizkit's just it's hot garbage.
I guess it was just the perfect time and place where we grew up, where it was okay to like Limp Bizkit and Smash Mouth all at the same time.
No, see,
And
Smash Mouth I can get away with. I like Smash Mouth.
Well,
That first album was
Fuck off.
Yeah,
we gotta move on.
No. Oh, before we move on, he needs to know that I pack a chainsaw. I skin your ass raw.
Doctor Who fans, Doctor Who Slipknot fans rejoice because
wait, Whovians and maggots, Whovians and maggots rejoice.
MAGA Who's.
I guess
Yeah.
they labeled their fans.
Yes,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Slipknot.
It was the
Maggot.
fucking late '90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, you know.
Every metal band that gained some sort of popularity
all
did.
the kids were doing it.
You got the maggots, you got the hate crew, you know.
Juggalos.
The Juggalos.
That's not talking about that.
Yeah, I don't want to invoke the rage.
So as far as the news goes, Corey, the lead singer, is going to be featured as a voice on a Doctor Who episode.
Yes, and not as a speaking voice. Apparently what happened was the BBC found out that he's a huge fan of the show and invited him on a studio tour while they were touring over there, and they recorded some of his screams. So he will be the scream of a monster on an upcoming Who episode.
That's radical.
It's pretty fucking awesome. I'm not even a big Slipknot fan, and I'm excited.
Yeah.
I would feel as like if you're a metal vocalist that could be like one of the coolest things to
Right?
accomplish.
Like, oh, I thought I was only good for one fucking thing. Turns out I'm good for two.
I've been saying for a long time to Tom, our editor, that I've been waiting forever to hear some like metal vocals or like some metal tracks over a fight scene in a movie, because I feel like it's what we've been missing in cinema for a long time.
I remember a few years back. Who's the singer for Sepultura? Darius Green. Think of the right guy?
Not sure.
I thought no.
Not Max Cavalera.
Okay.
Yeah, the guy who replaced Max Cavalera.
Okay.
He was actually in a video game not too long ago. Like pretty much the same thing as Corey Taylor doing like monster voiceovers, which is just awesome. Like I like hearing.
I just want to see the culture finally leak into the main culture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
slowly. You know, you ought to ease people into this kind of shit. You know.
Can't just blast them in the
Just
face.
blast them in the face.
Imagine how good Ip Man that one fight scene would have been with just a breakdown. Oh my goodness.
I don't know. I don't know if that would have fit. I don't know if
we'll do a supercut and maybe put it up sometime.
sometime.
But
You have to work, Tom.
Motorhead.
Motorhead whiskey.
Yeah.
Why did it take so fucking long?
For
with
real.
All
So
of
this
the
is-
other things that they've put out there.
I was gonna say, so we have another band product, but this time, all right. Like,
Yeah. Perfect. I mean, Motorhead and whiskey go together like fucking...
Lemon.
The beach and sand.
You know.
Yeah. It doesn't even make sense to have one without the other.
Together forever.
So Lemmy commented on it, saying...
I was gonna make a bad comment.
Lemmy commented on it, saying it's good enough that he'll consider taking a swig here and there. The whole reason he made that statement, for anyone who hasn't heard of Lemmy's multiple health problems recently.
Mountain of health problems.
Yeah, he's not doing so hot.
Oh my God,
But he was interviewed about it, and as part of his attempts to improve his health, he has switched from drinking Jack and Coke to drinking vodka and orange juice because he thinks it's healthier.
Yes.
And because, in his own words, I like orange juice better, so Coca-Cola can fuck off.
Fuck off.
Take that, Coke.
So,
Genocide supporting pieces of shit.
Whoa.
Sorry, he's kind of came from
whew.
a dark place.
Alrighty. So Ron's taking shots of Coca-Cola.
We got one more shots fired to
Yes, we certainly did.
Tommy fucking Lee.
Okay. So apparently,
Just stirring up the pot today.
Motley Crue was on tour with Metallica, and after one of their shows, Tom Lee posted up a picture of Lars, and
With the straight out of Compton meme.
But it was straight out of tempo. Which, of course, as we all know, for a drummer, that is the worst thing you can say to them. You have one job, and that is keeping time. Any of the other stuff you do is just, kind of making your own. But if you're not keeping time, you're fucking up.
Saying that to a drummer on level of disrespect is about the same as like banging their mom in their bed and then like videotaping it and just like
and not cleaning up.
That is brutal. You don't tell a drummer you're all the time.
I don't know. I feel like it's justifiable when it's Lars Ulrich.
Totally justifiable.
Well, yeah,
Lars Ulrich is a pretentious douchebag.
Yeah, which is incredible because he's notoriously a very mediocre drummer.
There was also interviews with him going on. It's like, I don't practice per se, like, for hours. And like there are people do.
Yeah, we can tell.
I just kind of, it's not to make myself better. It's to kind of stay in the motions.
The fuck
Why are you trying to make yourself better?
I don't.
Coasting.
That's called coasting. That's called coasting on the first 5 albums.
Yeah.
And just I know we didn't officially say this, but another shots fired. Kerry King was actually coming at Metallica too, saying that they were a band that's been coasting on their first 5 albums, which is completely justifiable.
I mean, but to be fair, I think Kerry King is on a warpath right now, trying to dig Slayer out of the pit there.
Yeah, he really wants to.
He wants to make them relevant.
He's bashing bands. He's bashing tours. He's bashing the fans. It's like you fuck
He's
yourself.
Pissed off. He's just pissed, the crotchety old man.
But he meant something back in the day. You're gonna shit all over that if he keeps this up.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got some sand in his pee.
All right.
So
we got hot off the press.
Hot off the press. Dillinger has shared a small clip off of an album they're working on. It's you're gonna hear it and you're gonna be upset like everybody else. It's like a 10-second max clip, and it's Dillinger doing Dillinger, so it's gonna get you excited.
Like as soon as your nips get hard, it's done.
Yep. No, exactly. You're like, oh, I just figured out that rhythm because it's Dillinger, and that done. So,
sorry.
Pumps. Dillinger's coming out with some stuff.
Just put it in for a second.
They remain consistent.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited for that one.
Oh, Shai Hulud just released the second track off of their upcoming, I believe it's an 8-song EP.
Forgot the name of the album.
I did as well. It's really long.
Yeah.
So it's okay. But we'll post a link. 2 tracks are up. It's Shai Hulud. They get fucking better with age. I don't know how they do it.
Nice.
But it's fucking great. Just pure hatred towards humanity.
And then there's also Wild Throne having an album Harvest of Darkness, which was coming out. This will probably be out by the time this airs, but Harvest of Darkness. They're a little like 3-piece thrash metal, heavy metal, just awesome band from Washington. They kick ass.
Deafhaven is a band of much contention for certain fans of the black metal and ambient sphere, but they had just released New Bermuda. Probably be out by the time this episode is up, but we took it, the time to listen to it, and it's really cool. It's like Hope Drone in the sense of it's ambient forward with very black metal crass sort of vocals.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's really nice.
I really liked it. And I feel like any band that isn't like strict black metal is gonna cause some contention between black metal fans because they're kind of amongst the most elitist in the metal scene, which is really saying something.
I'm a black metal fan, but I embrace all of it. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
You're a metal fan.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You who also happens to like black metal.
I love black metal.
You wanna take this next one, Ron?
Mestis. Mestis is a friggin' super group that is forming, has members.
Super group.
Super group. Animals is leaders, Call 13, and Marvin Gaye's trombone player, David Stout. So
I'm sorry.
This will be listened to. This will be good.
I want to stop you, and I want to have you repeat that last member.
They contain the member David Stout. I just derped in the pool.
They have a member.
They have a member. His name is David Stout, and he played trombone with Marvin Gaye.
Marvin fucking Gaye.
I didn't even believe it when I read it, so I was just like, all right, that didn't happen. And then
holy shit.
Outside of that, there's Javier Reyes and Matt Gartsky from Animals, and Hector Barriez, who's the percussionist from Call 13. I'm excited. They released like another little maybe 50-second teaser, and it's just some really sweet mellow guitar.
I think it's going to be what I've been calling for Jen for a while, in a sense that it's going to be
dynamic
music.
Yes,
it's not going to bite off of broken like chug rhythms. It's gonna like with even just the advent of the trombone.
Yeah.
All you have to say to me, you don't have to give me a band name. You don't have to tell me what the fuck you play. If you say, we've got Marvin Gaye's trombone player, I'm clicking pre-order. And I'll find out what it is the day I get that shit in the mail.
Find out just farting into it.
Still better than half the shit being released today.
Yeah.
13 and a half
minutes of silence. That's just radical. Supergroups always get me jazzed, and that like it's
like the year of supergroups.
Really is. Yeah. I want the decade of supergroups. I want just every band for like the next 10 years just be bands of awesome band members.
I mean, as a fan of progression, that's what would push it.
That'd be so fucking
collaboration.
Cool. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's
like Misha Mansour and Tosin Abasi in the same band, not just writing with each other, like in the same band. Fucking killer.
I feel like this is something we should discuss more in depth on a future episode.
Oh yeah.
Supergroups
could be a future topic you're looking at.
But let's see. The day this is released, what's the date today for the viewers?
Friday?
The 2nd, correct? Yeah, yes. So in 8 days, the new H2O album that I have been hyping for the last fucking month.
Longer than that.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. I'm a huge fucking fan.
I can see your nipples.
Can you ever not?
It's true. I have that problem.
The Coheed. I think the Coheed album's coming out soon. I'm just
Wait
having
your
a
turn.
moment on screen. I'm sorry.
No, it's
having
okay.
a moment.
I've hyped H2O enough. Get the fucking album. Buy it. Buy it. Buy it on vinyl or CD or digital. Fucking buy it. It's gonna be awesome.
Having an episode.
Coheed, go ahead.
No.
Heel. Go.
Fuck off!
Fuck. You know how far? How long?
Checking that actually. Fact
Must
checking.
we sing this song?
October 16th, Coheed and Cambria is The Color Before the Sun.
14 days from now.
I didn't realize that was so soon.
Yeah, no, that snuck right up on me.
Yeah, wow.
I will say it probably is going to be out of place mentioning it here because some of the early reviews of it are like, it's not metal. It's not metal at all. And
that's fine.
Fucking whatever. It's Coheed. It like I think they actually posted an article done by like, I don't think it was Metal Injection, but it was some metal reviewing, and they were kind of bashing them for not being metal. It was funny. It's like, they're Coheed. They're not. Anyway, Coheed's album coming out. Pick it up. It's awesome.
That brings us right into our feature topic. We thought this week we would dive into bands utilizing shock value and its detriment or benefit.
And like shock value being completely separate from theatrics, because I don't necessarily like you can be theatrical without necessarily using.
But you can also have shock value theatrics, and that's shock value. Interesting train to jump on, because we got to look back at some of the earliest instances of it in the genre with acts like Alice Cooper and even Sabbath, who, you know, at the time they were really just writing writing songs the way that horror movies are written, but it was taken as satanic.
They were playing because they were playing like flatted fifths and like the Devil's Note and all that tritones and shit. Like, so
well, yeah, that and you know, singing about Satan and shit.
That'll do it too. But
you can't mention that name. The Christians get uppity.
Yeah,
they
really
do get a little uppity, real uppity about Satan and the Muslims.
The Muslims.
And I guess even more so recently, I guess I would consider the entire Butcher Babies thing
that
shock value.
It's kind of tough, and I mean, in a way,
So,
yes,
visual
absolutely.
Kai. I mean, like that. The whole idea of it is that it's just as much a visual performance.
I don't want to
as
take
an
away
audio-
from
audio
Visual
form.
Kai artists.
And here's where we gotta really separate it. For a long time, the two front women performed with nothing but tape over their nipples.
And they came out with an interview saying how they needed to be better than tape. Or something like that. They needed to elevate their image beyond that. But at the advent being scandalous, and I mean, we watched the videos, like, they're colorful, but what are they really saying to you?
Well, what does any artist really say? I mean, like, there are tons
I
of
just
artists.
think-
Like,
that's
they're,
a very broad.
It's a very
question.
broad thing to say. I get that, but I mean, like, they don't seem like the kind of band that is trying to reinvent the wheel, I guess.
I don't know them well enough to say either way, to be completely honest. But getting
mean,
off of the Butcher Babies so that we don't just
Just
ride
bash
them
them.
all night. You know, you got to look at acts like the Nine Inch Nails and Marilyn Manson,
Manson's, yeah.
who, granted, most of the shock value they used was stolen from artists like Skinny Puppy and Roz Williams, who were incredibly artistic talents. But either way, you know, they both used the same sort of shock value. Two of those acts blew up. I mean, they're musical landmarks at this point, and the other two are only really known by the people who really know the genres. So
is that to say that was the one guy just promote himself better, or was one guy more shocking than the other?
I think that really comes down to, like, when you look at Nine Inch Nails and Marilyn Manson, they made their music a little more accessible, so it reached more of the masses, and it really, what I think appealed to a lot of the people who were into them was that shock value. I mean, Marilyn Manson, that was exactly what the fans were into.
Yeah.
More so than the music was.
Remember him teabagging a security
Yeah.
guard.
I was
Just
telling
plopping his sack on
I was
bald
telling
head.
the guy about it. Then the guard, I think, beat the shit out of him and tried to slap him with like a sexual assault charge or something like that.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, you don't do that.
I mean, but even, okay, so earlier acts, you know, Slipknot's early acts, Static X.
Slipknot also, like, with their stage performance, I mean, they
It was
would
brutal.
beat each other, sometimes breaking each other's bones.
I think the thing I like about I like intelligent shock value. I think that's really what we're kind of getting back to.
I think I would call that art.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
No. Shock
you're right,
value
you're right.
can be artistic. If the nature of the
Gwar
art,
manages to pull it off.
yeah, I mean, the nature of their art is rather shocking, especially at the time that they did it. So in their case, I think there's nothing wrong with the fact that the shock value is what made them famous when they're carrying an actual
Yeah, but I mean, I think
artistic
like
message behind it.
shock value that isn't money grabbing to me is like the Trauma movies, because they've continued on for like, I don't know, what, 20 years, 15 years,
Oh, it's
putting
been
out
over 20,
low
yeah.
budget
Yeah.
movies
Yes.
that are all shock value, that are hilarious, and you know what I mean. It's not like marketed as anything
No,
but what it is.
His whole, I mean, when you're talking about Lloyd Kaufman, his whole idea was always that he wanted to make the movies that the directors and the artists wanted to make. Give them complete creative control. Hey, we can only have this amount of budget, and all you're gonna have to find actors that work for free, but we'll make the fucking movie. But yeah, that's we're really
back on
derailing here.
I was gonna, you're saying about I meant to go back. You're talking about the shock bands that were inspired by, like, Skinny Puppy. To me, you watch like a Skinny Puppy music video, or something like that. Like, that's some of those images are
Still
very-
rather shocking to
Yes.
this day. The video for
way more than
The video for Warlock,
Yeah.
which to this day has no official release because they just couldn't handle all of the different copyrights. But it's nothing but the goriest scenes from the most absurd fucking horror movies.
it's good.
It is.
Now, is it possible for bands to have shock value within their music, even so, like to the point that because I feel like this one just kind of just follow me a little bit here, but like the people who might not necessarily be acclimated with metal and all of the different variations that it might hold. You know, you go to a metal show and you hear all these different variations of the same genre, and then one band just, I
guess kind of is. I remember Dimmu Borgir on their Enthroned Darkness Triumphant album. They had a song, Tormentor of Christian Souls, and the record company refused to release the lyrics in the lyric book. They would not send it out with it.
Well, if you're going that route, the easiest example of probably all time is Cannibal Corpse. You go to a Cannibal Corpse show and he's up there screaming about how he comes blood.
Is he really though? Isn't Cannibal Corpse the band that like he did the vocals then wrote the lyrics afterwards?
That was for one album. I can't really speak on the rest of them. Sometimes you can actually decipher the lyrics with the lyric book. That particular album you cannot because they don't exist.
Okay.
But
it's a great troll. That's a hilarious troll.
But yeah, Cannibal Corpse, Rammstein, who is incredibly satirical.
Oh yeah.
But they take on some
some of the shit they do.
Yeah, yes, very shocking. A friend of mine who is a huge Rammstein fan gets all of the collector's edition shit, including the set of dildos made out of cast of the band members' dicks. So that's a real thing. There's some shock value.
Yeah, there's some shock value in that. Like honestly, yeah. Like I would say that there's shock that getting molds of hard cocks for this.
But I think overall, as long as it's being used as a part of the art and not strictly for the sake of selling the art.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with shock
and
value.
At least early on in Manson's career, I think that's kind of what I liked about him is it didn't necessarily feel like it was super cash grabby to my fucking teenage mind.
No, I mean I felt like Manson, Cradle of Filth were definitely like fame vaults.
The thing where Manson got my respect was when I saw him on Bill O'Reilly and he was actually like speaking with some fucking sense.
He's a very intelligent guy.
Yeah, and like O'Reilly asked him, was like, like if you could say one thing to those kids in Columbine, what would you say to them? He's like, I wouldn't say anything. I'd listen to them because that's what nobody else was doing. I'm like, oh shit, like. Yeah,
he's a smart guy, and at least if I'm glad that if he's gonna bring in all of the misfit kids who hate mommy and daddy or are dealing with some bullshit, and he's what they hear, and he's trying to actually connect and make them feel something.
I'm down with that.
That's fine.
I'm totally down with
that. I have my own issues with him, but that's a whole different ball game. Any other thoughts? Anyone, I know you were initially against the idea of using shock value. Why was that? Because we didn't discuss it really.
We didn't. I was initially against the idea of using shock value because I guess I wasn't thinking of it properly. At the end of the day, I like shock value to be intelligent, and when you do intelligent shock value, it's not shock.
I can jump off
art.
That. That's where I'm going to hold on to the thing I said earlier about Cradle of Filth, where I don't think it was a lifestyle. I think it was prodding at people.
Yeah.
And when you're taking a personal perspective and then monetizing it and making people upset, that's where I kind of draw the line.
I have a tough time with that because if the point of your music is to prod people, because we're being prodded constantly. I can't scroll through my Facebook page without being told, the one and only way to the proper afterlife is Jesus and this and that. I find a little offensive.
I do too. No, don't get me wrong, I do too. But
for someone to take it and throw it back. I'm kind of okay with it. Like I want someone to throw up the middle finger.
Even if they don't necessarily talk about it in each and every single song or album, like if this is who they,
to an extent, I can agree with you on the Cradle of Filth thing. I don't know about early on.
Yeah, I don't know enough about them.
At a certain point, yes, they absolutely went for just straight. They became Hot Topic metal at one point.
Yeah. They were releasing hymn CDs, and where they came from, I don't like to I'm not against anti-religious music. I might be one of the few religious people that I know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's when it's hurtful. It's not so much proving a point or making a good argument. It's just like hate speak. I mean, the Jesus is a cunt shirt, the the things that they were doing. It's just like, I think there was a more intelligent way to go about it.
That's shock value to me. Like wearing a shirt, Jesus is a cunt. That's shock value because you're going to remember it. If nothing else, you're going to remember that shirt.
Yeah.
And you might remember the guy wearing that shirt, and you might remember he has a band.
Good on them, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it might be an assholeish way of going about it, but I feel like it's maybe smart.
We probably wouldn't, like me and this guy probably would not be friends.
Yeah.
That's all.
I think that's pretty valid. Ron, do you have any other examples of what you were initially thinking of?
Oh, I thought of like bad shock.
I remember we talked about Ozzy and the Bat. We talked about
like Ozzy and the Bat. I mean, like I'll allow that because that was something people hadn't seen before, and I'm pretty sure really hasn't really been emulated entirely too much.
Yeah, he was also drugged out of his mind and thought it was a rubber bat.
And I'm okay with that because that's rocking. That's a rock and roll.
Well, they were
story.
also completely embracing their image, and
but then
like,
I guess like I don't know.
People were calling him a devil worshiper, so he said, "Take this."
Yeah,
I thought that was fine.
Courtney Love for some reason comes to mind.
Because
like she's bad. She can't actually play guitar. She can't fucking sing. She can't write songs. She's famous for no reason. To me, that's the shock in her. I guess.
Do something with with one of her used tampons?
No, that's L7. Okay. L7, they were having technical difficulties, and the crowd was like throwing shit at them. So she pulls out her tampon.
Okay, that was
that.
I'm actually not upset at
and I think that tampon actually found its way to eBay too. So it's really gross.
There's humanity.
Yeah, okay, but wait. L7 doing that shit? I can get behind that. That's fucking rock and roll. It's like, fuck you guys. It's not our fault, alright?
Yeah, that's a little less shock value and a little more fuck off. This isn't our fault. Yeah. Stop throwing shit at us.
You know. But like, yeah, no. But Courtney Love is an example to me of just somebody who's like somehow managed to coast on other people's talents.
To an extent. I mean,
but what did she do that was...
There's an argument that can be...
Her stage image, I feel like, is very... Yeah, her demeanor and stage image just all seems very fake.
Okay.
That's true, but I don't know that it's so much shock value. And I mean, you can definitely make an argument for Hole as a band.
Yeah.
So...
I was gonna say, it's hard for me to take that as shock when, like, there's certain, say, bands I've listened to, like, as far as Harsh Noise, where it's like, they have an album, I think it's called, like, Full On War. The album art being a soldier holding up what was a person.
Oh boy!
And like this first song being Air Siren Number, and it's a siren blasting and then adding in the.
I also feel like being fans of metal, we're very tempered to things that are considered shocking to the average folk.
Like I said, like it took that picture that like I'm staring at that picture and I was like. That was living.
Yeah.
Well, and on a kind of final note, as far as metal and shock value goes, what a lot of people who aren't metal fans don't tend to realize is that a lot of the quote unquote shock value from metal comes from people trying to make a statement and a message about humanity. You know, creators all of the same blood. It's literally about how, it's the same fucking blood that pumps through us all. A lot of these bands want to see the betterment of society, and that's why they're throwing the shit side of it in everyone's face.
Very graphic metaphors.
I think that's the best way to describe it, and that's what I love about extreme music, and that's why I hate to see it get
exploited,
monetized.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say that's fair.
I do feel like there are also a fair amount of bands that message is lost on, and they just like writing about skulls and corpses and shit. Like Dick Bomb.
That's fun, too.
That's just having fun.
Like Dick Bomb.
It's okay to just have fun with it, too.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're having fun. I'm cool with it, but I'm sure they just like the way...
I think that's appropriate shock value. They got a derpy, thrashy name, and they have fun on stage, and that's the end of the story.
Yeah.
Having songs about gravediggers.
Okay. Personal favorite instance of shock value. Stormtroopers of Death. Speak English or die.
Yeah, that was...
it's amazing how many fucking neo-Nazis and skinheads take that shit seriously.
I will say, Typo Negative, when they first came out with Slow, Deep, and Hard, a lot of places considered them sexist, racist, and they were like, no. Like, it's an album of rage because he dealt with breaking up with a girlfriend. So yes, there's going to be songs about like killing and stuff like that. He's not being serious. He's letting out rage of the situation that happened.
Yeah, I wouldn't be upset if it was a female doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But I think we've pretty much covered the gamut of shock value.
Shock value is good when done intelligently, when done with a purpose.
Yes, if it's a part of the art, shock value is great.
If you're just doing it to do it.
Fuck off.
Ron, where are we going next?
Next, we're going into the pit.
You're supposed to stage dive.
Fuck off.
Ron goes to ska shows. He doesn't know how to stage dive.
Yeah, no.
Stage dives and high fives, fool.
Stay pits all day. Street light.
All right, let's not lose all of our fans.
So,
The few that we have.
Yeah.
Wild Throne.
Hi, Ben.
So yeah, this week I did Wild Throne. They are, like I said earlier, a little 3-piece, maybe a 4-piece band from Washington. From what I heard, they're from the same hometown as Death Cab for Cutie.
Okay.
Fun fact.
Fun fact. Only the funnest facts here. They have an album coming out. Should be out by the time this is out. So check it out. It's called Harvest of Souls. And it's from what I've heard, they have their video out for it, and the song is just kicks your ass from beginning to end. It's awesome. It's part thrashy, part like heavy metal,
A little bluesy.
I mean,
at times
like
it
southern
reminds
riffy, like
At times I get some Blood Brothers.
yeah.
So what would you say, for fans of, per se?
For fans of Mandroid, for fans of Mandroid Echo Star,
Excellent band.
Blood Brothers.
I had one earlier.
Who did we go see with Dillinger?
I didn't.
Mutoid Man.
Mutoid Man.
Yeah,
Mutoid Man.
Okay.
They're pretty much just like one of those
That sounds
really
like a great
offbeat,
lineup.
kind of slightly mathy, but like still very heavy, dancey kind of intricate. It's very intricate dance music, I guess. Like
awesome.
you want to throw down, but at the same time, if you just stared at their watching them play, you get lost.
So it's cool. Like going to an early Between the Buried and Me show where
Yeah.
you could either pit or stand and just stare.
Yeah, because if you want some sweet fucking riffs, got them. You want some sweet leads? Oh, check this out. They got it all. They're really good. I'm excited for the album. Harvest of Souls, October 2nd. Check it out.
Very nice. I listened to Mert V. I believe that's how it's.
That's as far as we can tell. It's MRTVI.
Yeah. It's
one-man black metal.
Yeah, exactly. And this is good old some proper black metal, and that it is harsh. It is some low quality from God going on there. When you put it on, you feel the crushingness of it, and despair, and
and speaking of despair,
your adjectives.
The album, the topic of the album, it's a concept album, and it's about the direct metaphysical after effects of a suicide.
With his whole project is supposed to be exploring these really crazy sides of the emotional spectrum.
Yeah.
So you're getting those very abrasive, very, like I said, you feel burdened.
It's heavy, and I mean, Jesus Christ. What did I want to say?
That kind of black.
He's diving into a realm that is highly unexplored.
But
and
I'll say as far as Blackman goes, it's clearly Blackman because of the depressing nature of.
I don't want to ruin the concept for anyone who's going to listen to it, but at the point where you hear, late into the album, Baby cries and realize that the whole idea is of a rebirth after suicide, that you have to do this all over again because of your choice.
Which
heavy concept.
Thanks to Phil, when you ordered the special edition, I get to listen to it on cassette. I highly recommend it.
You little girl, you
goddamn hipster.
You enjoy sitting there with your Ugg boots and your pumpkin spice latte.
He enjoys fixed gear Pabst Core.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Can't get enough of it.
your PBR, Natty Ice.
But Mert V or however
Yeah.
the fuck
Mr.
it's...
The album, was it Perpetual Conscious Nightmare?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very it's burdening. It's kind of that like. Yeah, like, what's the fucking point?
As far as I'm concerned, it's an instant black metal classic.
Yeah.
And it's one of those albums I will remember, and I won't necessarily put it on the same level, but, I'll remember that just as much as I remember Emperors and the Nightside Eclipse and all the,
I think this is the direction that definitely black metal needs to go to kind of, it's like, all right, the whole Satan thing and all that was cool, but actually exploring the darkness of our own minds.
Yes.
And, like, that's...
Things get darker than
True
Satan.
sorrow.
They get more evil than Satan,
Yeah. Whew, okay.
Take a listen. Buy the album.
Yes, please do. It's
Yeah.
worth it.
This week I listened to "Hang the Bastard."
No, he didn't.
Yeah! Now you're on point now, baby!
What did I listen to then?
You listen
nuts.
To you listen to...
You listen to Fall Out Boy.
Yeah.
Listen to Save Rock and Roll was awesome.
You listen to Hans Tahir Bastard.
Okay. That.
The joke's dead. Just let him talk.
The album was called "Sex in the Seventh Circle."
No,
It
it
came out
wasn't.
last year. Tom, you're gonna have to cut the audio on this half of the table.
The Peanut Gallery.
Yeah. It's if you ever find yourself wondering what really good, black metal vocals and stoner metal would sound like together, then check it out. It's got tasty riffs, just a wall of tasty riffs with the soul-crushing black metal vocals that a lot of people really associate
Yes.
strictly to black metal. With the high, screechy, ghoulish sort of vocals.
I love hearing that vocal style outside of black metal.
That's why I ended
love
up
it.
picking this.
I love it in everything.
Well, yes, but to hear it being
Used in
utilized,
something else.
I
is
love it.
awesome.
I love it because of all the weird looks I'm gonna get at work when I'm blaring it. Like,
Yeah, you will, probably.
Yeah.
So you like it for that shock value?
shock value. It's very shocking to these people at the old folks.
Do you have any Sinatra?
No, I have a death metal cover, "Fly Me to the Moon."
Stop talking.
No, I listen to these guys with you, and
Yeah. I mean, I'm a sucker for southern rock riffs, and it's wall-to-wall southern rock riffs and
Yeah.
black metal vocals. It's pretty clean cut, and it's extremely tasty. So check it out. The album's almost a year old, and it's totally worth listening to.
feels like really good beer drinking music to me.
Yeah.
Just like
Well, it's got the sludgy,
it-
doomy, stonery.
It kind of
Yeah.
feels like good, intoxicant music. Just it's kind of
I don't know. It's
Album
not,
you
it's
wanna
not
get
tripping
messed up a
music,
little
but
no, not tripping, but
not tripping.
like I said, like just
intoxicant. Just get a little,
having some,
Yeah.
yeah.
having a shot. And maybe
Sex in the Seventh Circle.
maybe having sex in the seventh circle while you listen to it. No, it isn't.
All right.
Okay, all right.
So the band I'm covering this week, anyone who knows me knows I like my shit heavy. And for anyone who remembers high school, I'm sure this still feels heavy for you. But the band's name is Algebra. I haven't found out why exactly. They're very difficult to find a lot of information on.
Really?
What I do know is they're on Unspeakable Acts Records, which is based out of Athens, Georgia.
Did you check a textbook?
Fuck off.
I think we're doing the beer reviews after we record this next week.
No, this is just my normal sass.
Their sophomore album, which is what I listened to, is called Feed the Ego. It's very, very thrashy crust punk. If you're a fan of DRI, Nausea, Toxic Holocaust, this falls right within that ballpark. It's, as it tends to be a lot of the time with these younger bands on the internet, the recording's a little rough, and you can hear where You might want some improvements, but this is the second album from a band that in previous eras may not have been heard yet. So there's a lot of potential. The riffs are fucking phenomenal. The technicality is pretty on point. There's a lot of really cool harmonies in both the vocals and guitar work. Strongly suggest checking them out. You can find them on Bandcamp. Post the link in the description. Go listen to the album for free and then buy it, because they fucking deserve it.
All right.
Cool.
Word.
Is it that time?
It's that time.
Fucking tours.
Fucking tours.
Yep.
It's actually, then we'll mention, the Faceless is apparently getting back together and going to be doing I believe a tour towards the end of October. I think it's starting.
Okay.
And I think they're starting in like Mexico or something around that. But this is also apparently, other good news is new album talks.
Yes.
I'm pretty excited about that.
That's always good news.
Like,
New albums are always fun.
I'm not the only one that.
No.
Okay. Okay. It's about to be very sad.
Yeah. Also, we are sadly missing, as we speak, the Devastation of the Nation tour.
Yep.
That's tonight.
That kind of bummed me out.
right.
Yeah.
That's tonight. Alter Beast, Origin,
I would love to
Crisian.
go on to that.
Motherfucking Crisian. I've only seen them once, and they are even better in person than
Cognitive.
they are on album.
Yeah.
Cognitive's good.
Yeah.
Local.
Ingested.
Ingested, not that
Origin.
great.
They were just bands on the bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Figured worth mentioning. They're
I was hoping they would be awesome because with the name like Ingested.
Yeah.
But it's
But I mean,
it goes that way sometimes.
it's
like
still,
Death Grind fans, you'll probably like it.
It's still a really
If you're a fan of Death
stacked
Grind, check it out.
lineup.
Yeah.
And it's from what if I remember correctly, the tour's just starting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So look into it. If it's hitting your city, don't be like us. Go.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm
We fucked up.
really bummed that I'm missing
you know,
this right now.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Shai Hulud's gonna go on tour soon.
Yes, Shai Hulud is on tour. I should be seeing them in Pittsburgh on the 10th, and then again at the end of the month. It's fucking Shai Hulud. I could rave about them forever.
I also believe Unleash the Archers are still on their tour.
Mm.
Do not miss this.
We just saw another video upload from the tour they're on, and they were at like a packed venue, and I was like, we got to see them with nobody.
It was so good. So close. Oh.
There's also an August Burns Red Every Time I Die tour still currently moving.
Cool.
Yeah.
Ghost.
Oh yeah.
Ghost.
Just recently kicked off their tour. Just played Philly.
Word.
Completely sold out. If they're coming to your city, it's a good possibility that it's going to sell out.
It's
So
an
buy your
ultra
tickets.
They're
sell
trying to
out.
get beer nuns, right?
Yes, they are trying to recruit female fans to serve them alcohol on stage dressed as nuns. I am all for it. Anything that furthers their insane imagery is just fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Especially when your music's as good as theirs is. I mean, Ghost is fucking phenomenal. What else we got? H2O should be kicking off their tour soon in support of the new album. I'm going to stop talking about that now. We've also got, probably, for me personally, the most stacked lineup of the fucking year. Twitching Tongues, Harm's Way, oh my god, Malice at the Palace, and Homewrecker. It's going to destroy every venue that it hits, so if they're playing your favorite venue in that city, go, because it's possibly your last chance.
Kind of upset I've never heard of Malice at the Palace. That's a great band name.
That is a great band
That is a
name
phenomenal
for
band
a
name.
phenomenal band. Every single one of these bands is just,
Alright. I need to look that up.
yeah. So don't miss that.
So yeah.
I believe that.
Wraps it up
Anything.
for any tours, unless anybody has any last minute tours you want to send you again.
That's about all I know of.
It's alright. So
Like, subscribe.
as always, this has been From the Pit. So see you.
Good night, ladies.
Dick fart.